Hi, it's Alyssa! So, I get a lot of really interesting comments in my documentary, but I've noticed one of the most common comments I get is basically saying that I'm saying Asperger's wrong. I've looked it up, and that is the most common pronunciation I've found in the US, that is. And that's really how everybody I know says it.
I have Asperger's syndrome.
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 Sometimes adolescents with Asperger's
They say that Asperger's is one of the greatest things that...
Well, what a person with Asperger's would be is...
I mean, everybody pronounces it differently depending on their region, so like British, I do like the British pronunciation, but I'm not British, so I'll say it the American way, I guess. The British tend to say it like ASSBURGERS. I'm not the greatest with accents, but I mean, that's roughly how they say it. And I decided I want to look up to see what is the actual pronunciation, because Asperger's syndrome came from a guy named Hans Asperger, who's Austrian. And so I was looking at some forums, particularly one on wrongplanet.net, which is a Asperger's autism website. And someone asked the same question that I'm asking, and the one answer that I found, I hope it's accurate. Someone says, I believe English-speaking people usually pronounce it Asperger's. That would be how I say it. And Hans Asperger is roughly pronounced Hans Asperger in German. So what's better, Asperger or Asperger? The fact is, he just has a really funny sounding name. So really, anybody can mock his name, no matter how it's pronounced. So I find it a little redundant when people comment like, oh, you're pronouncing it weird, people are gonna make fun of you if you say it that way. And it's like, well, that's just his name. People are gonna make fun of his name because it sounds weird. And like so even right here, Asperger, that's why people make fun of it, because it sounds like Asperger. But like there are some other ones like that people suggest, like, why don't you say it like Asperger? Asperger. How does that sound any better? They both sound a little strange. Everybody pronounces it differently, so I say just pronounce it however you want. There's really no correct way. There is a correct way because of, the guy's name, how his name is pronounced. But really, everybody has different accents. They come from different regions, so the way they say things isn't going to always be like the original pronunciation. So say it however you want. Don't let it bug you. If people comment in places saying, oh, you're saying Asperger's wrong, or any word really, I mean, like, everybody says things differently, even if there are correct pronunciations. Another point I wanted to make, really, if you say anything, people will be offended. So don't let those people bother you. I mean, like, if I caved into the whole Asperger thing and people telling me to pronounce it differently, I could say, you know what, I'll just come up with a new name for Asperger syndrome just because everyone's offended by the original name and how it sounds. I'm gonna call it box syndrome. Well, someone's gonna be offended by that. Someone might say, oh, I have a friend who's really boxy, so I'm offended that you called it box syndrome. See what I mean? Yeah, so I'll keep saying it the way I say it, you say it the way you say it, we're good. I also wanted to point out there's a little disclaimer I put on my videos so nobody can sue me or get me in trouble for saying something strange. Just know that these videos are meant to educate, not offend or confuse. But they will anyway, let's face it. Don't take anything personally. And then I talk about commenting. I love hearing from you. Still true, I love it. So all comments, opinions, personal stories, and constructive criticism are welcome and appreciated. Debates are okay, but keep them civil. However, senseless nitpicking, like on pronunciation and things like that, or outright harassment will not be tolerated, and any abusive comments will be removed. Now, if somebody is nitpicking, I'll probably just leave the comments. It's not a big deal, but I mean, if it does escalate and other people start commenting and everyone's suddenly being really mean to each other, the whole thread's going bye-bye. My goal is to have a nice comment section that people won't scroll down and have their days ruined. I want them to be able to watch my videos and then contribute to a really helpful conversation, not a really bad, icky one. Because let's face it, comment sections are like a war zone. How do you guys pronounce Asperger's? I'm curious. I want to see how many of my followers pronounce it the way I do, or if they pronounce it the British way, or the Austrian way, or any of the other alternative ways people came up with. Or maybe you just call it box syndrome. I don't know. Yeah, leave me a comment. I'd like to hear from you. Bye!